Welcome everyone to Jesus. I can never get it right. Obey NWO.
Hey little girl, I wanna be your boyfriend. Sweet little girl, I wanna be your boyfriend. Do you love me, babe?
Welcome everyone to the Normal Order Podcast.
I'll survive it again.
This is Abel, and joining me as always or sometimes are my co-host and co-conspirator CJ.
Hello.
And Andres.
Hello.
Barker's not here today. He was called into work, so fuck Barker. The NWO is where we're trying to take over the world by spreading the weekly pop culture news from across different genres, which include movies, comics, TV shows, or anything that we consider nerd. Don't do that. Don't do that again.
Okay.
Do it at least 5 more times.
The Nerd
Oh, that is a
He's
great
pissed.
source of
The
humor.
Nerd I'm not pissed. It's just it fucking smells. The Nerd World Order Podcast, our greatest in poop entertainment since 2017. Fuck, that's the way to start.
Just continue
the
it.
fucking
Come on.
show. How can I? Could the people at
This entire world.
Could the
turned
people at
upside down.
Chernobyl continue with the fucking podcast? No, they couldn't.
I think they tried,
Oh,
which is the whole thing.
I'm
There's
yelling.
people who still live there.
Forget.
Andres, how was your trip to Vegas?
Fun. Never going back. Lost a lot of money.
Why don't you want to go back?
Fuck that place. This shit has $300 on my dollars.
It was,
Fuck
you said
that
it was
place.
fun.
Yeah, it was fun, but I ain't going back.
Did you end up going to the Marvel thing?
No.
Ah, you bitch.
But I went to the High Roller though.
Yeah, because we told
yeah,
you.
that shit's cool.
Yeah.
That shit's dope. That was the coolest part of the trip. You gotta go if you ever go to Vegas.
I've never been to Vegas. That'd be cool.
You had the
I
opportunity
want
to
to
go
go back
with
to
us.
Florida.
Florida was fun.
Yeah.
You'd rather go to.
Oh, if I had to pick between... Okay, it's not... I want to go somewhere with an ocean.
Honestly,
surfing was so much
Dude, no,
fun.
he had like an existential like. He's like.
I didn't even know what to call it.
We weren't even. He wasn't even drunk. He's like, dude, we came out of the ocean. I am one with the ocean. The ocean, me are one. And
I
I
don't
was.
think it was quite that bad.
It was pretty bad.
CJ's Aquaman.
No, it was like it's like humans came out of the ocean. That's a fact. That's a thing that happened.
Humans also come out of.
It's cool because my only thinking was it's cool because you touched like if you're in Kansas, you're just in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, right? You're not touching anything else. You touch the ocean. You're connected to everything. All the water in the world is connected.
all the plastic.
That's cool. You're connected to a shitload of plastic. That's true.
Yeah, I remember drinking out of that Pepsi bottle.
Did you guys see that meme where it's like they wanted Kylie Jenner to be the mermaid?
Yeah, and it's like we would have too much.
That was fantastic.
Okay, I'll give you one thing. Okay, one last thing. Now, after experiencing Los Angeles and now Las Vegas, I'm saying that I'm glad to be from a small town.
Why?
Because I'm guarantee you, big city living is overrated.
In what way?
Like, it's just not all cool. Like, some people move to those places because it's like, oh, I'm living in a big city now, this and that.
You know,
Dude, big city living sucks.
I
Be grateful that you're from a small town if you listen to this.
I probably agree with you.
Because it's awful.
People from Garden hate Garden, but love Garden.
Well, because you're from Leota.
Yeah.
Leota,
But that's my point. It's all about perspective.
Leota had 20 people and a goat that graduated.
He just gained perspective, and now he loves Garden, right?
He's
I
also
love
Garden.
Garden City.
He's
But,
also Garden.
but I mean, big city living sucks, so.
Anywho, alright, beer of the show, Andres. Since he's been gone for a while, he grabbed it. What'd you get?
Reds.
And he's already one deep, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I would like to join him.
You're supposed to wait so we can all do this.
Sorry.
Hit tick.
Yeah.
Our
Touch
tips
tips.
Yeah, I got these because I remember on our drive up to Denver to fly out, we got shit-faced with these, so got pretty wasted.
I don't think I would like to get drunk off it.
Except the driver, because you know we're responsible.
Wouldn't that suck?
It's because it's a bunch of sugar.
Yeah, exactly. You get high before you get drunk. Fuck that. It's a good beer to like just enjoy. Like,
It's like those wine coolers.
you know what I like? I like ciders like with like steaks. I don't know why. Like a good meal. I don't know why.
Like a nice, heavy cider. Yeah. It kind of puts, or contrasts the steak, like the steak taste. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it. Okay, now, we've talked about everything but the show.
What, you
Alright.
doing a show?
Polls. From last week, we reviewed Season 1 of Doom Patrol. On Facebook, we asked you guys, what did you think of DC Universe's Doom Patrol? 75% said good, 25% said meh or bad. On Twitter, filler.
How'd I do?
You definitely did something.
My name's Abel, I'm stupid.
Abel's not that stupid.
Abel's pretty stupid. I am.
Super. Yeah, I was about to say, can you hear that?
Yeah, it came through, yeah.
And on Twitter, what did you think of DC Universe's Doom Patrol? 67% said great, 22% said good, 11% said meh. So,
No bads, it's good.
yeah, that's good. All right, the rest of our polls. Is it hotter than the Devil's Butthole? 100% said yes. Have you ever confused Al Capone and Christopher Columbus in your life? 67% said no. Can Christopher Columbus suck your balls? 100% said yes. Does a devil's butthole have syphilis? 100% said did. What the fuck do we talk about? Do we, white people, deserve syphilis? 100% said yes. Will Abel figure it out? 67% said no. Do you get it? 67% said yes. Is it all Jenny McCartney's fault? 100% said yes. Is it all Melissa McCarthy's fault? 67% said yes.
Who's Jenny McCartney?
The stupid anti-vaxxer. Which one is better?
Murderer of children.
60% said Xbox, 40% said PlayStation.
Yeah.
Wait, go back. What was that? Sorry.
60 Xbox, 40 PlayStation.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have Xbox?
Fuck yeah.
If you guys want to vote on our polls, follow us on Twitter or Facebook at NerdWorldOrder1, and you guys can find us there. Moving on to hashtag ShitWhitneysays. Shitney.
That should be his new name.
Whitney has his own segment on the NWO, and he basically gives us his 2 cents on everything, so hashtag ShitWhitneysays. And shout out to Whitney. He bought a shirt, finally. So, yeah.
Fuck you, Whitney.
There's 66% of this room that hasn't bought a shirt, so that's fine.
I like that math.
Wow.
Alright, but here are Whitney's 2 cents. CJ says Power Rangers is too much nostalgia. Don't mind him as he goes to a corner and jerks off to Predator for the 9,381st time. His entire go-to is nostalgia. Why sucks because I am nostalgic about X.
I will not go to the corner of the room. I will do it right in the middle of the fucking room and make you watch.
Okay, Kellen Winslow. Did you hear about that?
He did that?
No.
Is that what he's arrested?
Well, no, he got arrested for sexually assaulting raping an older lady.
Oh.
But stories are coming out now that when he was with the Bucks and the Jets, like the teammates would hate rooming with him because he would just like jerk off right there, and he'd be in the locker room. Like, let's say me and you were in the locker, he's just like openly watching porn and just like jerking off.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's like sexually like super deprived. Yeah.
Wow.
Or depraved is the word, not deprived.
That's pretty weird.
He's like out there. Oh my god.
So yeah, that's CJ.
No.
Is CJ Kellen Winslow? Cool question.
No, however, I'm not killing Winslow, but I'm perfectly happy being the arbiter of nostalgia. You come to me with your nostalgia problems, and I'll tell you if you're allowed to be nostalgic.
You can't tell me what I can and can't be nostalgic about.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because nostalgia.
And Predator doesn't count anyway.
Predator sucks. But
Because you could be nostalgic about something that you wouldn't necessarily be nostalgic about.
What do you find nostalgic?
There was
No. Whitney said it. I'm the arbiter.
Yeah.
No, you're not the
What
arbiter.
are you nostalgic about?
I'm nostalgic about this old Nickelodeon show that used to be on, I don't know, on the weekends called Wild and Crazy Kids.
Nah, that's not nostalgic.
Yeah, see, yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
I'm a fair and
say no.
merciful judge of nostalgia. Oh, Predator doesn't count though, because to be nostalgic about something, it has to leave and then come back. Predator never left, motherfuckers.
They should have left a long time ago.
But it didn't.
Predator left. That's why they made
Not
a
for
movie.
me.
For you.
I'm the arbiter of nostalgia. It's only matters about me.
You guys are putting the complexity of a girl way too high. Were we talking about girls last week?
I don't think so. I don't know.
CJ loses arguments even when I agree with him. I agree at the beginning. When CJ goes off his tangent, I then change sides on principle.
I do like that. That's funny.
Very short this week, but very poignant by Whitney. So yeah, that's hashtag ShitWhitneysays. If you guys have any comments or anything, let us know. You can follow it, like I said, it's always on Facebook and Twitter at NerdWorldOrder1 and on Instagram. So I'm going to start doing some cool shit hopefully on Instagram, so check it out.
What are you gonna do?
Put some videos and stuff.
Of CJ jerking off. In the middle of the room.
We're gonna get banned.
I hate that that's the place my brain went also.
Alrighty, before we go into this week in nerd, Andres is here, but we do like to pay homage to Andres and make sure that everybody remembers.
Well, he sends you in his pen.
Well, yeah.
To hide his true identity.
Who cares?
So Andres.
Unfortunately, everyone knows now.
So in order to remember Andres, we do have the Andres Loza Anime Minute. The Andres Loza Memorial Anime Minute.
君にベイビーシートベリーや本当の気持ちだけ分け合ったらいいのにな願いを叶えてよ
It's been a big summer for the Shu Shaiki and Yutu Tsukudu's Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma. After the manga officially came to an end, the fourth season of the anime was confirmed for release later this year. Not only that, but the series will soon be making its debut as part of the Adult Swim Toonami programming block. This got fans thinking that the third season could potentially get an English dub, as they had been waiting since it wrapped last year. Well, now it's no longer a question, as Sentai Filmworks has confirmed that Food Wars, the third play, is slated for an English dub released early in 2020, along with confirming the license for the home video release for the third season. Sentai Filmworks shared a brief preview for the new dub in the video above. And I don't have the video, so... But you have it, you showed me, so...
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What do you think of Food Wars, the
React to
third
this
play?
one.
Okay, you guys do this thing, and it's like, you guys clearly don't even care about what you read.
That's not true.
Of course I care because you care.
Yeah.
You don't
care because
Abel,
you
you don't like anime.
You don't know that. Well, I like it because you like it.
Oh my fucking god.
We're here for
CJ, you don't
you.
even like anime either.
I like it.
Andres obviously doesn't know what a bit is, so we're gonna...
Actually, I'm starting I started 4 different animes this last
I'm
week.
trying to watch Akira.
Name one.
Akira?
My Hero Academia. I'm two episodes deep.
You guys are nerds.
And I tried Goblin
Yeah,
Slayer.
no,
Goblin
we're-
Slayer sucks. I tried watching it.
Ooh,
It sucks.
that's a Goblin Slayer punching the balls for Whitney.
Yeah, it's not good. And I started watching.
You guys don't even
I watched
watch-
the first episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Barely? You don't like anime then.
Oh, Andres is if you're the arbiter of nostalgia, he's
shit.
the arbiter.
I guess I don't like anime. Fuck, that sucks.
Andres is said final.
I didn't know I didn't like anime. Turns out.
I don't like anime either, but Dragon Ball Z is the only accessible one.
And One Punch Man. And
Nope.
Okay. Anyways, this weekend. So we talked a while back how Henry Cavill was going to be the Witcher, right?
Yeah.
Well, they released the poster. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
That's why he's not being
I
Superman
feel like
right
didn't
now.
they release that already?
No,
Like a long
they
time
just
ago?
they really this last week.
Oh.
And the way the news cycle moves forward, like it's pretty fucking quick.
No, what I mean, I feel like we saw that picture a long time ago, and we were like, hey, look at Henry Cavill as the Witcher.
Fuck The Witcher.
No.
They took us from seeing Superman.
What if the Witcher's awesome though?
Well, they say that
Isn't that a video game?
It's more based off the books in the video game. So
Okay, you know how obviously we all have a friend named Brevin who we all love. You know how into Skyrim he was. I talked to him like that was his favorite game. It's my favorite game, and
he said The Witcher was better.
he said The Witcher was better. How fucking good is The Witcher? It has to be pretty good.
Get a bite and play it.
But I mean, he wouldn't say that about just anything. It's
Yeah, you
gotta
guys
be-
put a lot of hours into Skyrim, so
Yeah.
it's,
What is
stupid
Skyrim?
amount.
it's an open world like.
Is it like a
MMORPG? No, it's not MMO. Sorry,
Is it it's an RPG then?
RPG though. Yeah.
At the time, I think it was like the biggest map ever.
Fuck. Even bigger than GTA.
Yeah, well now it's GTA, I think.
Apparently, the whole entire map of Skyrim is just like a tiny little corner in Witcher. Like, it's crazy. That's what Brevin's telling me.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Open world games are cool, but like after a while, like I'm still in the middle of Red Dead, and it's like you have to go complete this mission, and it's like 20 minutes of me just on a horse.
Yeah.
So I mean,
can
it's
ride a train.
cool.
You need to play Arkham Knight though. Fuck me.
I'll pass. That'd be incest.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so we see a bunch of Cavill ass, which is pretty cool. We're not going to see that anymore in Blue Tides. Instead, we're going to see it with leather. I did read an article saying that this is possibly maybe Netflix's Game of Thrones. How well it's coming up. So I'm down for that.
Of course
well,
you're
I mean-
down for that because you like Game of Thrones.
I'm kind of fucked though. My mom canceled her Netflix. I don't know what to do with my life.
I'm about to cancel mine actually too. I'm
Don't.
thinking-
I need to mooch off your stuff.
No, you know how many people are mooching on. The only
I
reason
did Alticall or whenever we lived in Manhattan. I did. For like
the
3
only
years.
reason I don't have ESPN Plus is because there's like 10 moochers that are depending on me and my Netflix.
Yeah. I was one of them.
I'll pay for your Netflix. Well, half.
Why don't we just... Here we go. How about we just switch it to your account?
Nah.
To your bank account. Okay, then. Yeah.
How much is it? It's like $15 a month.
Now it's like $13, yeah.
Fuck.
And I would do way more things with the ESPN Plus than the Netflix. I don't watch that. The only thing I would use Netflix for is Stranger Things, which I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna cut it off anytime soon, but
I can make up enough new emails to get Stranger Things watched.
Well, and the thing is, I wanted to watch.
You can watch it for a month though, no?
No, it's not. It's not a free. It's a free week. Not free.
No, it's a month. It's a month.
No,
I
trial.
thought it was a month. Yeah.
No, it's a free.
No, it's a free month.
Netflix would not give you a free month.
I do. I've gotten a free month before.
I think it might. I think he's right. I think I saw 7 days, but I think it used to be a month. But
maybe.
I remember getting a free month a long time ago. But I think it's down to 7 days now. Because they probably caught on to fucking.
Well, no shit. There's
Steve Williams 12. Okay.
There's like 3 accounts.
There's Steve Williams 1 through 11.
I wonder how Netflix makes all this money when there's 3 accounts and everybody's just mooching up. And I'm one of those 3 accounts. All right. Anyways.
Is Abel one of 3 Netflix accounts? Full question.
They did release a synopsis as well. Based on the best-selling fantasy series of books, The Witcher is an epic tale of fate and family. Geralt of Rivia, solitary monster hunter, struggles to find place in a world where people often prove more wicked than beasts. But when destiny hurdles him toward a powerful sorceress and a young princess with a dangerous secret, the 3 must learn to navigate the increasingly volatile continent together. There's no exact date on the release, but later this year. Honestly, I would probably keep Netflix just to watch this. I'm kind of excited for this.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will say this. The only real personal experience I have with The Witcher is playing The Witcher 2. It fucking sucks. I hate that game. And I bought it.
Because
downloaded it and it took up a shitload.
Which one was the one Brevin was praising?
Witcher
the first
3.
one? Oh, 3? Well,
yeah.
there you go.
And I downloaded Witcher 2 and it's probably my top 5 most terrible games I've ever played. And I hated it.
You should play the Arkham Knight.
So if I base it on that, then I'm not watching.
Moving on. Hey CJ,
Yeah.
do you love the NWO?
Yeah.
Do you like supporting things you love by giving them an amount of money so small that you wouldn't notice or feel leaving your bank account?
Yeah.
Then you'd be perfect to donate to the NWO cause, which will help us create more content and become a better podcast. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Then visit us on patreon.com/NoRuledOrder and give us a monthly donation to help us out. Or if you want, give us a one-time donation. Please go to our PayPal at nerdworldorder2@gmail.com.
Yeah?
Yeah, and remember folks, obey the NWO. Maybe we are still getting a Flash. It director Andy Muschietti in talks to tackle the DC movie. So that for a while there was rumors that they were going to scrap the DC movie and they were just going to move forward without a Flash movie. Well, now it looks like the director that directed the first It, and I think he's directing the second It, is going to take over the Flash with Ezra Miller still as the Flash. So.
Thank God.
There's actually been a trend of horror directors going over to DC. So we have James Wan with Aquaman. Then we have the director for Shazam, who his name is David Sandberg. He was the Annabelle movies and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And then Jamie Colette Sarah, who is supposed to direct Black Adam next year. So
He's a horror guy?
He's a horror guy. So this will be the 4th horror guy
crazy.
to jump over to DC. So
How do they... I don't know, that's crazy.
well, there's besides Shazam, I don't think there's any element. I mean, these guys have certain elements that they put into their movies. In Aquaman, the trench scene obviously is very horror. I mean, they're gonna make a movie off of it.
Well,
so in a movie like this, I can kind of see because the Flash is very the Speed Force, like that's his thing. So I can see them playing with that and be a little scary and stuff.
you get a lot of James Wan in Aquaman though. There's like 7 different jump scares in that movie.
And that's a superhero movie too. That's crazy.
Well, and jump scares are his thing because have you guys ever seen the YouTube videos, the Honest Trailers?
Yeah.
Where they kind of break down a movie, they kind of make fun of it a little bit. Well, there was like 7 jump scares in that movie where they're just like standing still and it's an explosion that happened like 7 times. Yeah.
That's James Wan's thing.
Well, it's pretty cool though. I know we talked about it before about being dead, now alive and dead. Now it looks like it's alive. I've asked this question before, but would you guys like to see the Flashpoint version of this?
Yes. Fucking.
I don't like the Flashpoint as just in general. So.
I think it's the best way you're gonna get to rebooting the whole thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Piss me
Unfortunately,
off, CJ.
it's not that it sucks. It's just it's a cop out. Like,
Christina Hodson, who wrote Bumblebee and Birds of Prey, is going to write.
They're
this
lucky
script.
they have the Flashpoint to go back on to like.
Have you seen the animated
save
movie?
their asses from a decade of terrible decisions? What?
Not a decade. It's been like.
Yeah, we did a show on the animated, and I didn't like it. I still don't like it. It's not even that. It's like it's a bad story. It's cool. It's interesting to see like what would happen if Aquaman and Wonder Woman fought, but it's just I don't like. It's annoying that they the only reason it came out was to reset everything. Like because they fucking they wrote themselves into stupid corners.
I don't know. I still think they would have used it if all the movies hit. I still think they would have used it.
Well, that was the original plan. No, was to do the Flashpoint like a couple years ago.
Because that's how Flash went back in time,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
God, release the Snyder Cut, man. Fuck. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm over
Does
it.
it even matter anymore?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it matters.
No, it doesn't.
Catwoman possibly cast. Rumor Vanessa Kirby is on the short list to play Catwoman in the Batman. Previous rumors had Aubrey Plaza as Catwoman.
And Daisy Ridley.
And they really,
Yeah,
I didn't hear that
from
one.
Star Wars, yeah.
I guess Vanessa Kirby has appeared in The Crown. I've never heard of that show. Fast and the Furious, the Hobbs and Shaw movie, which is coming out, which I'm excited for. And then she was in Mission Impossible Fallout, so she might be Catwoman.
Cool.
I love Aubrey Plaza. I don't see her.
I'm calling it now.
Yeah, she's more. I mean, I want to see that new Child's Play movie just to see how she plays in the horror genre.
I saw it.
Never again.
I mean, I don't know. Just wait till it comes out on DVD.
Okay.
I'm calling it
Well,
now.
I have to. Then
She's fine in it.
That new
She's
Batman
no
movie is
problem.
going to be one of the greatest of all time. Guarantee you it. Guarantee you it.
That's what you said about.
Guarantee you
That's
it.
what you said about quite a few movies now. And you just build yourself up.
Wait,
and then
which one disappointed me?
You said Justice League was going to be the best movie, cinematic achievement of all time. Yeah.
Aquaman was pretty good. I was right on that one.
It was good. It wasn't the greatest cinematic experience of all time.
It was good though.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Alrighty, did you guys hear about Mad Magazine? Or did you guys ever read Mad Magazine?
Nope.
It
I
got
didn't know it was still a thing.
What the hell's Man Magazine?
I found out it was still a thing when by way of beginning.
Dude, did you know Vogue was around like in the 1800s?
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah, Mad Magazine. I know I read a few magazines. I actually read quite a few crack magazines, but Mad Magazine, a big staple for a lot of people, particularly people growing up in the 70s and 80s. Like, that was their thing to get a lot of comedy, but it was canceled. It was brought back in 2018 and then canceled again. And this actually follows a trend of DC canceling Mad Magazine, and now they canceled 2 weeks ago Vertigo Comics, which was more of their adult line of comic books. And a lot of people are saying it's because AT&T and Time Warner merged, and they're just slicing, dude. They're just cutting.
Well, I think that's fake news.
What's fake news?
I don't think they got canceled. They didn't get canceled. They are going. It's a weekly magazine, right?
They're ceasing monthly publication.
They're doing it bi-weekly now, I think.
No,
Or bi-monthly. I mean, maybe.
No,
They're cutting the. They're doing half the number, whatever the number is. They're doing half the number of magazines,
from what I read,
and then they're repurposing old material.
Yeah, but there's not going to be any new material. Only specials.
They said there's going to be some. Yeah.
Only specials, but what they used to do is like a monthly thing, like one a month.
I think it's bi-monthly is what I read. So like 6 episodes or 6 issues a year, I guess it would be.
Yeah. But even then, like, so.
But it's not canceled. But to say it's canceled is not correct.
They've ceased publication. I mean, and they're going and it's only now on a.
I looked at the head lady's her tweets. She was like, they're gonna write it. They're still gonna do stuff.
From what I said, or from what I've read, Mad Magazine to cease publication. Mad Magazine will cease.
But she was all it was like a thread, and she was like calm. She was like saying, yeah, that's not right. All the reports.
And
are wrong.
Abel's never wrong.
She was saying, okay, yeah, I heard all this stuff. It's not. She set the record straight.
Okay.
And the record,
I did get an update. Updated later to include continued publication of archival material and specials, but it's not going to be like a monthly thing anymore.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the one thing.
Yeah.
But they're still gonna write stuff. She said they're just gonna also include old material in new magazines.
Well, the bigger theme of that though is that Vertigo.
But downsizing certainly.
Yeah, Vertigo Comics
Regardless
and
of
now Mad TV or Mad Magazine and Vertigo
I've never
Comics.
even heard of Vertigo.
Vertigo is in the 1990s.
Are you saying Vertigo or
Vertigo? Vertigo Comics is through DC, and in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, they were the line for like adult-themed comic books. Like, so Sandman, Constantine, Swamp Thing, all those were Vertigo. And
I thought it was DC.
It is.
Oh.
But the bigger point I'm trying to get at is, now that they merged, it's another venue where there's going to be another outlet for creative ideas to come out of, which sucks. So, yeah. James Gunn is talking about a possible Brightburn sequel.
Hell yeah!
He went to Instagram and he was basically paying his respects to Mad Magazine, and somebody randomly was like, "We definitely need a Brightburn movie sequel. Would you be so kind and direct it?" at James Gunn, and then James Gunn directly said, "I think I'm tied up for the next few years with Suicide Squad and Guardians, but we're talking about the sequel." So, as we know,
he doesn't have to direct it. I mean, he didn't direct Brightburn.
He was executive producer,
and it was fine.
Yeah. As we left the Brightburn the movie, we left it as they're trying to build a universe and stuff like that. So
I don't remember. I know we did this already, but would you be down for that? Are you here for that?
For a Brightburn sequel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm more. I like Brightburn. I had my beefs with it, but I am more excited with the idea of what they can do with it. So
yeah. What do you like Brightburn?
Haven't seen it yet.
Oh, watch it.
And he's on a Nerd World.
I know you're on like a movie.
He hasn't even seen Logan. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, but that's a thing. Like,
it's a bit now. It's a thing. All right. Speaking of Vertigo, one of the best, most acclaimed comic book series of all time is called Sandman, and they're thinking about making it a Netflix series from Neil Gaiman.
Metallica?
No, Sandman focuses on Morpheus, aka Dream of the Endless. Dream is one of the 7 siblings representing the major forces of the universe, the others being destiny, death, destruction, despair, desire, and delirium. After decades spent in captivity, Dream reemerges to find his kingdom, the plane known as the Dreaming, in ruins. He must rebuild, and in doing so, re-examine his role in the universe. So it's a really high-level comic book series, which was published in Vertigo. So. You can hear that.
That's very loud. That's so surprisingly loud. Yeah.
You baby, stop. So yeah, I'm down for that. Okay, that was that week in Nerd went great. Florida news. Well, I think we all want to get to the main discussion, so we're gonna get to the main discussion. But before we do, a 43-year-old man nearly killed himself after eating the liver of a pufferfish, the most toxic part of the fish, while on cocaine. Tetrodotoxin, or TTX, is more than 1,000 times more toxic than cyanide, and there is no antidote for it. While surviving, he will unfortunately require dialysis treatments for the rest of his life, as the man's kidneys did not recover from the TTX, the cocaine, or the combination of the two.
Worth it.
God.
Funnest night of my life, fellas.
I like cocaine. It's supposed to make you invincible.
100% pure Colombian Bam Bam.
With the liver of a pufferfish. Alrighty, main topic.
Dude, that guy probably lives an awesome life.
Well,
90 more.
Okay, well,
90 more.
Up until that point, it would have been cool to hang out with that guy.
Alrighty, the main event of the show, what we're talking about this week, obviously, is the newest and latest movie of the MCU.
That guy has definitely been parasailing and skydive jumping.
Chicken skydiving.
You would have to try pufferfish.
Yeah.
I've tried fucking.
Dude, he's done everything. He jumped off the Eiffel Tower at some point. Definitely.
He tried to swim the Amazon.
Dude, definitely, for sure. Hell yeah.
You know what? Obviously, it's not something that I've wanted to do. It's not on the bucket list. But you know what scared me off the Amazon River forever? Is I heard there's these fish that go up your pee hole.
You pee?
Yeah. And then
they swim up your pee stream into your wiener.
Yeah.
And give you.
And they're like parasites and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
They eat your dick from the inside out.
Not in the good way.
Well, they're not eating much, so.
Cell phone! Alright, main event. Spider-Man Far From Home. The 23rd movie? Yeah, the 23rd movie of the MCU. Can you believe that shit? 23 movies?
I mean, I preach all the fucking time. Thank you for
every episode. From here on out, I'm gonna not talk about MCU movies.
Ever.
I highly doubt that. Directed
by John Watts, who also directed Homecoming. Starring Tom Holland as Peter Parker Spider-Man, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, in quotes, Zendaya as Michelle or MJ, Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill, in quotations, Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, Marissa Tomei as May Parker, Jake Gyllenhaal as Quentin Beck Mysterio, and Jacob Batalon as Ned Leeds. Obviously, this is based on the Spider-Man comic books. which were created by Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, which they got a tribute at the end of the movie before the end credit scene. So they both passed away within the last year or so. Box office. They took the box office from its initial release on Tuesday to Sunday, and it was initially supposed to. They projected 125 million, but it earned 185 million just in the U.S. And then worldwide, it's already made 580 million dollars. So, and this is the effect of what the Avengers do to the next movie afterwards. So after the first Avenger, it was Iron Man 3, and then after the second Avengers, it was Guardians, I think, and then. Yeah, and then after obviously Endgame, it's Spider-Man. And I think a lot of people wanted to go see just because of the Fallout.
No, Guardians came out before Avengers 2.
Did it?
Avengers 2 is 15, Guardians is 14.
Okay, so what came out after Avengers 2?
Captain America, Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
Was it? No.
No, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
It was very close. There might be one, maybe Ant-Man.
Because...
MCU release schedule.
No, it's very close. Civil War is
Age
very close.
Age of Ultron was the summer after Guardians.
Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor to the Dark World, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man.
Okay, I
Yeah.
But then Civil War is right after that, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's always a boost after an Avengers movie because people, like, that's, the bookmark of chapters and stuff like that. So, and not only that, but Endgame was, like, the culmination of whatever. So, and actually, this is the end of Phase 3. Endgame wasn't. This is kind of...
Was it Phase 3?
Yeah. So, it to me, it works kind of like an epilogue to see kind of how... Because in this movie...
Like how they dealt with it, kind of? Or how...
yeah, because in this movie, you get a little bit of how the normal people dealt with the snap. They show the scene with the band, how they were playing. I thought that was pretty cool.
Pretty good.
And then they explained too that those stayed behind, aged, which is the kid that was after MJ too.
So all the main group of people all got
Conveniently, MJ, Ned, and all them. They all got snapped. So I mean,
and they call it blipped.
Yeah. Well, that was one of my questions. I guess we'll get into it. It's the snapping or the snap versus the blip.
The snapping? I love that. That's so much better. Why don't they call it that?
The snapping.
That's so much better.
Yeah. I think it's too close to the fappening, so I don't...
I want the happening. Why not?
You guys know
I know
what the fappening is? You never heard of the fappening? The fappening was when they...
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty. Is when the two guys... I think it was two guys when they hacked into all the celebrity pictures and just like... Yeah.
They released so many nudes of...
The fappening.
Let's see, box office...
But the snapping is great.
Yeah,
the snapping is how you're supposed to use that.
Yeah.
It's much better.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it is.
There wasn't actually a cinema score for this, but I can only imagine it's like in the A's for some, because we don't use Rotten Tomatoes in this bitch anymore.
You don't know what we thought.
CJ, I am about to. What's the synopsis of the movie?
Oh, fuck. So Spider-Man.
I like how he knows it's coming every week, but he's just like.
So Spider-Man and his friends go to Europe, and they fight some water and some wind, I think.
Fight some water.
They fight some fire, and it's an optical illusion, and we're very angry, and we.
Well, he's just ruining the movie now.
And Jake Gyllenhaal's there. I'm not ruining anything, am I? Maybe I am.
No.
He's ruining it.
He hasn't given any spoilers.
I don't want to do this somewhere.
Jake Gyllenhaal's there for some reason, and hijinks ensue.
Okay, perfect. Let's go. All right. Before we get into spoilers, just a general feeling of what you thought of the movie.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. Might be up there with the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
I think it was really, really good. I think it took a little bit to get going, but once it got going, I thought it was fine. Okay, spoilers. Now, I'll put the little CJ thing.
Go fuck yourself if you haven't seen the movie. You son of a bitch.
Did you guys at all buy... Going into the movie, we all thought Mysterio was the bad guy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew there's something up.
Yeah.
You know what? He fooled me for a little bit. He really did.
Who did you think? Did you think the main bad guys were going to be the Elementals?
No. But I thought maybe there's a chance there was someone else.
There was this kind of thing in the back of my head where, like, I thought it would have been the Elementals, and then Spider-Man does something to piss off Mysterio, and then he like be like, oh, I know all your tricks in that, so he's a villain now. But in back then I'm like, no, this ends up with Mysterio doing something.
Well, this movie's actually, it was done, not this particular plot, but as far as like Mysterio pretending to be a hero and then was found out, is actually in the animated series.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I remember hearing about that. So yeah, I mean that's why I kind of didn't buy it, like in the back of my head, which would have been cool. Like if I took Mom, so it would have been cool to ask her like, you know what, I guess I didn't ask her, but like, did you buy it the whole time or whatever? But I think any savvy moviegoer would know, like,
By the time there's a certain point in the movie where if you haven't been introduced to the villain, it's got to be someone you're already. That's what happened to me in Guardians 2.
Yeah, same.
I'm
same.
like
Ego,
it has to be.
Yeah.
I didn't know Ego.
Like half the movie's done, and it's like, it has to be.
That's exactly the feeling I got. I'm watching it, and I'm like, I looked at my phone, and I'm like, we're an hour and a half into this, and I'm like, oh, he's the bad guy.
villain.
Not when I didn't know he was gonna be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't think he would, because like I'm like, I never heard about Ego, the planet, so I'm like, fuck. Cool.
But he did. I guess I didn't going in, I didn't realize he'd be working so in cahoots with who we thought was Nick Fury and everything. And that just kind of threw me off, I guess. And I was like, wait, maybe I'm missing something. He faked me out for a little bit, so credit to that because.
And I do like the fact.
Because I went in then knowing he was a bad guy.
I do like the fact that they played it straight for a good 45 minutes until like they left the bar and it's like he broke.
And I'll tell you something, man. Marvel abuses. I've never seen anything like be more abused than this. How many villains does Tony Stark have to make?
Dude,
Fuck!
And
dude.
then Spider-Man is still cleaning up his mistakes after death.
Dude, how many villains does he have to create? Like, you have Ultron. You have the guy from Civil War. You have Mysterio. There's other ones.
The Vulture.
The Vulture, yeah. The Vulture, like, fuck, man. Can we just... He's dead. Just stop. No more villains.
Well,
Why?
And then
It works.
well, that kind of goes into the Mysterio thing. So he pretends to be a superhero. He says he's from the multiverse, which is cool.
It's very believable at that point.
Because I don't think it's a throwaway concept. Like I think they're gonna use it again for
I don't know. I think the main takeaway from that is that Peter called bullshit on it.
Peter called bullshit on it because he found out later.
But at that moment. He said, "Are you sure that works physically because of all this other a bunch of physics that."
He was just shocked.
Well, because he said it. He's nerding out because it's fun. He's like it's as he was talking. He's like it's only ever been a theory. Like
it's gonna change history.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a throwaway line. I think it's a way to introduce the multiverse down the line.
But I think it's. I guess I didn't look at it like that. I just looked at it for that movie. It was telling that he said he's from the multiverse, and Peter was like, "Are you sure?" And then, of course, he ended up not being from the multiverse. You know what I mean? Like it just struck me in the movie that was poignant. Like,
I guess we won't know until keep watching these. But yeah, I think there's two ways you can take that as like a throwaway kind of like the only way to explain it, or if they're eventually going to try to open up the multiverse to bring other characters.
I kind of
in.
hope they don't.
I don't think it's throwaway. I think the multiverse is coming.
I think the multiverse.
It's just gonna be.
They don't need it. They have the whole universe to work.
Well, how do you?
Why do you need the multiverse?
To introduce the final, the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and stuff like that.
They can't exist in the universe.
How would you explain them?
Why couldn't you?
Where were they at this whole time?
If you knew a big orange asshole that was made out of rocks.
They have an origin. They go to space and become.
I guess their origin could happen after.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Luna?
Isis, you gotta go hang out somewhere else. Sorry.
But
yeah,
I guess
you give them a proper origin.
I guess the origin could happen now, like right now.
I don't want to take credit for this, but I did hear it somewhere in another podcast. Wouldn't it be cool if the Fantastic Four was set in the 60s, like the comic books, and then they go into space, and it's a Planet of the Apes situation where they get lost, they get their powers, and then they come back.
And then it's like 40 years later.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Or 50 years later.
Oh, your thing's falling. You're going to have to tighten it from down there.
Yeah, we're about to have
But and the snap happened, and they're like, what the fuck? And
I do like the idea of a multiverse, you know why? Because then you can introduce different Spider-Mans like Into the Spider-Verse. I think that'd be cool. You got it there, Chief?
Yeah.
I do, and I also like the fact that, kind of on your point, that Tony Stark keeps creating his villains. They're all really just disgruntled employees. Like the guy that's the Mysterio's right hand man is the guy that was yelled at by Jedediah.
Yeah, in the first Iron Man.
Yeah. Iron Man. Tony Stark built us in the cave.
With scraps.
So that's pretty cool. I like that. What did you guys think of his costume? Mysterio's costume.
Oh, dope, dude. His costume's dope. Awesome, dude. And whenever
Mysterio's costume?
Yeah.
Whenever like he was tricking Spider-Man into all this stuff, like he was making him see all these things in the beginning, and I'm like, dude, he's really the Scarecrow of the MCU.
Well, okay, let me get into that then. So, Spider-Man figures it out. He's trying to go and defeat him, and the entire time he's being played for a fool because Mysterio, the way he's able to do this is through drones and the holographic technology that they have. So those scenes where it's like a nightmarish, like that's totally right. He is the Scarecrow of the Marvel Universe. What do you guys think of those scenes?
Dope.
Pretty cool, right? The nightmare scenes. Did the train catch you by surprise?
Yeah, I thought he was like, I'm like, no way they just fucking did this. How do you survive that?
He's Spider-Man.
I guess he's Spider-Man.
The only pushback I have, I loved it, I like it, I would probably do it the exact same. The only little iteration of beef I have is that you saw the scene where they're like practicing whatever, like the choreography and stuff, and you kind of get the sense that like they put a lot of work into these. So you make up a whole entire thing and like was like
I don't think he's dead.
Less than like 12 hours or something. No. Whatever, however long it takes Spider-Man to get from where was he? Germany, I think, to from Prague to Berlin or whatever. However long it's like 12 hours or something like that. And he put together this whole that whole scene. Like that's kind of
dude. And I think it's that, or you can kind of.
I mean, like I said, it's not that big of a pushback, but. That scene is worth having to however.
But also, I think maybe it also has maybe they didn't explain it maybe very well, but maybe it's a way that it also plays with your consciousness and you get to see what you see. Maybe. You know what I mean? So
yeah, maybe.
That's
as good as explanation as any.
In this movie, that's probably the best way you see him like juggling Peter Parker and Spider-Man because. He really just wants a normal life. Like, he just wants to date MJ. He wants to go on his school vacation. But no, like, Nick Fury's going to hijack everything. Well, somebody thought it was Nick Fury.
Well, I don't know if you guys got it, that Nick Fury was behind the entire thing. Because at the very beginning, he's like, I wanted you here, so I got you here. So the entire European vacation was to try to get Spider-Man to Prague. So, well, I guess... What then did you guys think of the Elementals as far as... Okay, and a bigger question, did you guys buy the fact that this is a combination of holograms and drones?
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty... Yeah. They did it really well, so...
They did a really good job.
What did you guys think
It's a really... Honestly, like... It's kind of perfect, the way they did it, I think. Like, it's... You're bringing... They're seeing destruction wrapped in, illusions. It's perfect. Not telekinetic. Whatever. What am I trying to say?
Realistic. Holographic.
Yeah. Drones. That's perfect. That's a perfect way.
In the comics, he uses just magic, doesn't he?
Well, no. I
was thinking projection.
In the comics, he's a stuntman, sound effects, video effects guy in Hollywood. That's why he's able to put up all these things. But in the MCU, it makes a lot more sense that he worked for Stark Industries drones, and they're all just spurned Stark Industries employees because he was mad that in Civil War he called his life's work barf, and he was so pissed at that. So that's why he decided to rebel against Iron Man.
And then he fired him.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think he's dead.
You don't think Iron Man's dead?
No. Quentin Beck. Mysterio.
Oh, I think he's dead.
No, he's not dead. He's a master of illusion.
He got shot.
He's a master of illusion. That's his traits. Dude, they're gonna set up the Sinister Six.
Wait, did he get shot? Yeah,
they're setting up the Sinister Six with the Green Goblin, Mysterio,
Scorpion.
No, he's dead. His whole thing.
Doc Ock.
Maybe down the line.
Doc Ock, the Vulture.
His whole thing relies on connection to
he's
the.
Not dead. He's not dead. He's the master of illusion. He's not dead.
He's dead.
Maybe not, man.
The Sinister Six is coming.
I didn't think about that.
The Sinister Six is coming.
I'd take this bet. He's dead.
You know what? I would lean more towards he's dead.
He's not dead.
No, damn, dude. Now that I think
The
about it,
Dude, the Sinister... Bro,
Sinister
we have yet to see the Sinister Six, and you have Tom Holland, the best Spider-Man of all time, arguably. And you have 2 great movies that came out. They're going to set up for the Sinister Six. Finally.
Why?
Because that was the original plan with Andrew Garfield. Did you not see the end credits of the second Spider-Man?
Yeah, and did you... Are you the only one that didn't notice that those movies suck?
No, but they did leave. They did leave
It's cider.
They did leave some clues to that in Homecoming for the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
So when Vulture and Scorpion were in jail, kind of. They kind of.
But
I'd be down for that. Actually,
he's not dead.
But he needs the whole backdrop of. He needs that whole thing with the drones. He doesn't have that anymore.
Oh, he'll find a way.
Like, I mean, I guess, but probably not.
I mean, he. If you take it as he's the only one that died, the rest of his crew's still alive.
Yeah. Like, remember at the very end when the guy was downloading something?
Yeah. I think that was more for the mid-credit scene where we're going to get to here.
Okay, but it could be something else.
But yeah. So what do we think of I think these Spider-Man movies, what they do so well is, I think apart from any other movie, the secondary cast is so good. Like, I think, so we have Ned, we have MJ, we even had the girl that Ned
was
dating. Like, that was so funny.
So funny. The teachers were fucking funny.
Martin Starr, he's knocked up in,
He's great in Silicon Valley.
Is he?
He is the reason to watch Silicon Valley. Yeah.
So the secondary characters in these movies are great. What do you guys? And then JB Smoove was fucking funny.
Awesome.
We're in the age of technology, but it was witches. You know that shit.
He's like as a man of science. As a man of science, witches.
I didn't know JB Smoove was in this. That was a really cool surprise.
I did know it, but I forgot it. Like, I read a long time ago.
I didn't know
that shit had me laughing for like 5 minutes. As a man of science, witches.
I loved all of that. This movie's...
He's like, we're in the dark ages now.
So that's what I like about these movies is that the ensemble cast works so well. Like, you can tell, like, they have good chemistry working together and stuff. And I
bet they have a lot of fun making these movies.
And this is one of the things that I've always praised MCU movies for, apart from, most of them, or if not all of them, being really good, is they all have a different genre of movies, right? So, like...
All different vibes.
Yeah, Ant-Man is like a heist movie. Both movies kind of... Yeah. And then you get your Avengers movies. Those are the big blockbuster movies. You get Captain America Civil War. That's like an espionage, like a 1960s vibe movie. Well, these Homecoming and Far From Home, they're like 1980s, like teen coming of age. He just trying to kiss a girl. He's trying to tell how much he loves her. And then in Homecoming, he's just trying to go to the prom or whatever. And take, what was the name of the original girl? The one that was Vulture's daughter?
Was it Gwen?
No.
But
he's trying to take that girl to the dance.
Madeline.
Yeah, he's trying to take that girl to the Homecoming. So these movies they have the backdrop of like teen movies with the added element.
John Hughes
Hughes, exactly. Yeah. Sweet 16, Pretty in Pink, stuff like that. But added with the spice, it's a Spider-Man movie, and that makes it so much better. And that I think Andres was onto something, that this movie is the best as far as like Peter Parker juggling Spider-Man.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I really dug that.
This is up there with like the original Spider-Man 2 as being the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Which I don't know, because I don't know, man. I have to watch Homecoming again, but I've been thinking about it, and like Homecoming was fucking good, but Far From Home was really good too. But dude, it's just that not the cap scene. Whenever Vulture drops off them at the prom and they're talking in the car.
Dude,
that scene was amazing.
That is not only one of the greatest MCU scenes of all time. That is one of the greatest movie scenes of all time. When he locks the door and he's like,
He's like,
well, the lead up to, from the moment he answers the door when Peter knocks on it, from then on,
it's like holy shit.
Yeah.
It was a great... I did not see it. People say they saw that coming. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, because there's no way that you could have imagined that they were an interracial couple. Yeah. There's absolutely no way, because that's not the way Hollywood works. And the minute he opens the door, you're like, oh shit.
We, as an audience, we are very rarely surprised in that way.
Yeah.
And that's the last movie to do it. And
And
did
you're
it
like,
fucking
wow.
incredibly.
Like,
yeah.
like, damn.
Nothing's a fucking surprise like that anymore.
I would say the mid-credit scene in this movie was a surprise like
Oh,
that.
dude, that was fucking crazy.
Okay, we'll get to that here in a second.
we'll get to
Or
it.
before I forget, let's get to it now. Fuck it, we're not going in order of anything.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, when I saw that fucking J.K. Simmons was back as J. Jonah Jameson. And not only that, but like he's back as like an Alex Jones type,
Yeah.
like an InfoWars kind of dude.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
That's
well,
pretty
A,
dope.
fuck Alex Jones for being that thing in pop culture now. But B, I'm kind of glad like now he's known as an asshole. You gotta keep spinning it, like from the thing, from the base.
Yeah, but dude, like when I was like, because like, I read reports of like him being like, oh, like he could possibly come back as J. Jonah Jameson, and I'm like, no, like I think they're gonna move on with that. And then I see him, and I'm like, no fucking way they brought him back. Like that's dope. That's nostalgia. Now that's nostalgia.
And then
Is that nostalgia?
No, it was perfect.
do you guys like the?
No, but
He's right. It is nostalgic because you think of the Raimi movies, the Raimi Spider-Man, and how well he played J. Jonah Jameson. in
It's
those
better
movies.
than nostalgia. It's relevant. That's why it's not nostalgia. J.K. He's the best casted thing in the history
for
of
sure.
casting.
He's the best casted person of all time in
Yeah.
any superhero movie of all time.
Anytime
Really? Yeah, for
anytime
sure.
that's the case, it's not nostalgia. No. He's too good for nostalgia.
I guess.
No,
you could
it's
say that.
nostalgia. Fuck him. It's nostalgia.
No, nostalgia is reserved
It's
for like
nostalgia.
The one thing that did take me
the little
back.
troll doll.
The one thing that did take me back though is that he's bald, and I'm like,
Yeah,
he looks
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it was
in
better
that.
with the hair, yeah.
But I mean, still, it's dope to see him back.
So let me start here. What do you guys think now that the Daily Bugle is more like an InfoWars kind of thing? Like they're out for Spider-Man.
It's fitting for more.
It's
It's,
like
modernized.
It's not like a newspaper place somewhere.
And it's very, very
Like,
telling of the time.
How
like,
out of place would it be if it was just still a newspaper?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's very telling of the time that way, and it's also very telling of the time when of our times, I should say, when Mysterio said that everybody. What did he say? Basically, like nobody will believe the truth anymore, or like people will
They'll
believe
believe
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they doctored the film when he got shot to make it look like Spider-Man. Is the one that executed the drones, which
As soon as he said that.
as soon as he said, yes, execute them all, I'm like, that sounds weird. Immediately, I'm like, that sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But I guess I just threw it away. And then I was like, oh, no, yeah, that fucked him.
Yeah.
So, how do you think they move forward then, now that everybody knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker?
I don't think it's as... Okay, obviously they do it...
They're gonna come after his ass.
They do it in such a way that it makes you... It is a big deal, right? But Tony Stark did the same thing.
Yeah, but his was different. He openly admitted he was Iron Man. He was outed. Peter Parker was outed as being Spider-Man, and not only that, but that he was behind the drone attack in London. That's different.
You can prove that wrong.
How?
I mean, in the original ones, you see
We'll
like
probably find out. I don't know.
it's just like the Daily Bugle, like they saw him as a villain, and people like were kind of after him.
They're about to villainize Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is.
That's just now hitting me, actually.
Well, that's how it is in the comics and in the animated series and stuff. Like, you always had, like, the people that were pro Spider-Man and people that were anti-Spider-Man.
Peter Parker's such a good dude. Why would you do that?
Yeah, but it's very, very true to the comics. Like, that he's...
That's so sad.
That Peter Parker can never catch a break.
That's
like,
so
he finally
sad.
got the girl, and now that he got the girl... Not only do people know who he is, people are gonna fucking hate him for what they think was a terrorist attack.
You know what?
He's public enemy number one now, dude.
The only real thing I thought about, actually, is that Flash knows Flash has to eat
Oh,
shit.
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
That's all I really thought about, to be
Yeah.
honest. So, yes.
But I mean, isn't that like not going out on like comic base because no one really knows who he is?
That's a good point.
That was an added twist, yes.
Yeah.
As far as Spider-Man being polarizing, that's always been in the comic books. But as far as Peter Parker revealing his identity, the only time I think it happened was in Civil War, when they wanted all the heroes to register, and he revealed that he was Peter Parker. But I think it was retconned later by everybody forgetting somehow. But yes, that is a very interesting wrinkle that is going to be laid out forward, not only in the Superman or the Spider-Man movies, but the MCU at large.
Because not even Aunt May would know who he was.
Aunt May did know who he is, though, because at the end of one, remember?
No, but like in the comics, though. I mean, I wouldn't know. She'd know. I mean.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess that. Well, I comes to my later point, but we're gonna have to. There's a reckoning for this, and we're gonna have to figure it out. So I don't know, but I thought it was an amazing. I was just like.
I was pretty stunned.
No fucking way.
Yeah, whenever he's like, "What the?" and it ends. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
What they were going for was succeeded. I was like,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, shocking that it's J.K. Simmons again.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking dope. And then 2 that
You got doxxed.
he
got
basically
doxxed.
got doxxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
He got exposed.
those 2 things were super shocking. I was actually reading. I came home and I was like, how did nobody know that? Because something would have leaked. What happened is they actually snuck him on to set in a suitcase. And they were like...
No way! He put him in a suitcase?
They put him in a suitcase, and they said that no makeup, we're going to do this how you are, which is why he didn't have the flat top, because he didn't get makeup or whatever. So we're just going to do this how you are, between 2 people, you, the green screen, and whoever's filming, and you got to get out of there. So they kept it super quiet.
That's
so
so
dope,
cool.
dude.
They do so much cool
Because if they would have
shit.
seen him roll up, they'd be like, "Oh, he's back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially people like on blog nerds and stuff, or nerd blogs, they stake out these movie like studios and locations.
Yeah,
and stuff, so.
like the Joker movie when that was being filmed, dude. There were like so many new photos being released every day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, that's cool. So then let's talk about then the end credit scene where, and it kind of made sense to me because I noticed how Nick Fury wasn't really Nick Fury, and we find out that it wasn't.
What do you mean? How did you?
Because he Nick Fury to me is he always knows, right? And for him to not know about Mysterio under his nose the entire time was a little like, maybe he's a little off, the snapping, whatever, but I'm like, you think he'd know, like, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And then
good point.
at the end, like, we
You think he'd know about a multiverse?
Yeah. And by the end, we find out that it's a Skrull. And it's Telos and his wife.
Which they're in Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
they're the ones
that's-
from
that's
Captain
why I
Marvel.
don't
And
know.
you haven't seen it,
I
huh?
haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
Skrulls are shapeshifters, so... yeah, so...
You ever seen Captain Marvel?
Well, I know. What begs... Well,
That's that and Winter Soldier are the only 2 I haven't seen. So relax. I heard Captain Marvel isn't even that good.
it's pretty good, man. You would appreciate Endgame more by watching Captain Marvel.
I'll watch it.
It's out. Go watch it on Redbox.
It's not even the worst thing of that sentence.
What? The Winter Soldier. I watched Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier, dude.
That's like a.
That is like...
The Winter Soldier isn't even better than Civil War, probably.
And no, it's better than
No,
Civil War.
probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Out of all the individual movies, Civil War or Winter Soldier's like the best one.
Doubt it.
It probably is.
Not better than the Dark Knight trilogy, but
I don't know.
We're not getting...
That's
This
a
is in the
different conversation.
MCU.
Whatever.
It's the Winter Soldier. Out of
Okay,
individual
but
movies,
out of movies, the Winter Soldier stands up. Like, I don't know.
Is it better than
Let's not do
Endgame?
this.
Is it better than Endgame?
as an individual movie, yes.
No.
Probably.
Probably not.
But nothing is better than that last fight scene in Endgame. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
right now.
dude, nothing
Yeah.
better than that
Yeah.
shit. God damn.
Okay, it's hard to transition out of that.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's hard to transition we were talking about, but what do you guys think about the dynamic between MJ and Peter Parker in this movie? And did you guys buy that she figured out that he was Spider-Man?
Yes, to all of
I
that.
did.
I like their dynamic now. It's like the beginning stage is kind of awkward, whatever, you're a teenager, whatever. But that has to get better. They have to figure it out. Otherwise, it reads way false. In the next movie, like by the next movie, they have to be Peter Parker and MJ. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I think by the next movie, her and Aunt May are the only ones, and Happy are the only ones like on his side, and
Ned.
and that's why
And Ned. Yeah.
But that's why they get
that's
so
such a G. I
yeah.
love it.
And Nick Fury, obviously. But.
Well, and I think that's why they're so close, and I think that's why that awkwardness is broken apart or broken, and they're kind of more.
That's what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
has to be. It can't continue to be this fucking aw shucks kind of thing. Peter Parker and MJ are they're like a staple almost. You know what I mean? They have to. That needs to be represented in the next movie.
Well, and I think the reason it's so awkward is because MJ in these movies is portrayed kind of like as the
She's
evil,
weird.
the dark.
I
kinda
love her,
weird,
dude.
yeah.
She's weird and just cool.
The
I
reason
don't know.
the reason that Black Dahlia is your favorite rose or
'Cause of the
flower because of the murders. Yeah.
One of the
That's
most.
so awesome.
one of the
That's
most,
such a cool take
yeah,
on MJ,
yeah.
honestly.
Black Dahlia, one of the most unsolved mysteries ever.
That's so fantastic. That's such a cool. It's ballsy. That
Yeah.
takes balls. They did it though. That's cool. Honestly, because how easy is it to make MJ just this little girly girl who fucking
Yeah.
But they gave her some fucking
and I did
some
buy
cool edge.
and I did buy that she knew that he was Spider-Man because it makes sense if you're paying attention.
You would think that she's the kind of person
he
who would do
disappeared
that.
in Washington. He's disappearing from the trip. It's like, come on.
Yeah, anytime something happens, like he's gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they portray her in such a way that you would believe she would be the one to figure that out. Like that's the part that's cool because a lesser movie would have just put those pieces there without making you be able to realize.
And what I really, now that I'm thinking about it, what I really like about that movie, and what also to a lesser, no, to the same extent, the reason why I appreciated the way they wrote Lois Lane in Man of Steel is they don't write them as like.
Oh, they're just here to be here.
They're just here to be here. They're just here to be the love interest. Like they have agency as far as like Lois Lane in that movie automatically figures out that with or without the glasses, it's fucking Superman, right? And her investigative journalism then puts her at her his parents' house, right? So with this one, of course, she's paying attention that he's gone all the time in Washington. Whatever. It makes sense.
And they write her as the type of person who would do that.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic.
She's just not the love interest. Like she is.
It's not just a coincidence.
Agency, yeah.
She didn't just they didn't make her. No, he was Superman because she's a love interest.
Yeah.
They tied it all together.
Yeah. And that's what they did with this one. I feel like they put it together.
That's so beautiful. You know what? That is underrated.
Yeah.
In movie making.
Dude,
When you do shit like that.
Dude, I cannot wait for the trilogy to come. Oh, for that last one to come out, dude. Fuck. Do you think it's just gonna be a trilogy, or do you think it's gonna be more? Dude, they have to do the Sinister Six, either this next movie or the fourth movie.
We'll see. I don't know if it'll be more than 3 or whatever, but I think now that they're, and that was one of the points that I good transition, a good segue. They are really pushing Spider-Man and the idea that he's the next Iron Man because like it's weighed heavily on his shoulder. Like he's always seen the murals, and then people are like, "Are you the next Iron Man?" or whatever. And then as he's putting his suit together in Happy's Airplane, like they play AC/DC, like he's moving around like Iron Man. So. I don't know if they just do 3. If he's the next Spine, like if he's the next Iron Man, like you would think that.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be Iron Man now. He'd be Spider-Man, obviously.
Well, no, but
he'd just be the leader.
What they're trying to get that is that he's the leader. So.
A 16-year-old man, fuck, that's crazy.
Well, and that goes back to your point. Like he has to balance now being the leader of the Avengers and being basically a senior in high school.
Do you think like Tony Stark's death is kind of like his Uncle Ben's death?
Because
they haven't referenced Uncle Ben at all.
I caught one Easter egg.
Really?
When he's putting his suitcase together, it said BFP, Ben Franklin Parker.
Something just struck me.
Dude, I'm surprised they didn't reference him in this movie. I mean,
I'm glad they did it, but what struck you?
Spider-Man's a kid. Like through and through, he's a child person. That's the character of
child
Spider-Man.
person, yeah.
Is there anywhere in the comics or anything, any historical precedent for him evolving into something else? Not Venom. That doesn't count.
What do you mean evolving into something else?
Like the Iron.
Like what does he do when he grows up?
Actually, there is a very interesting comic series right now called Spider-Man True. Ah, shit.
Because he eventually stops.
Because
that's when Miles Morales.
Spider-Man is always a teenager. How does Spider-Man
sometimes they played with this timeline where he turns into like a Mark Zuckerberg, like he's a tech giant, he's super rich. That was the last line of Superman before they return him back to a younger. They played a lot with him being in college and being a photographer.
Yeah, in the animated movie he was in college, or in the animated series he was in college.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, so we have. I'm not.
But basically, the best Spider-Man is
high school.
A high school Peter Parker. Yes, you're absolutely
so we have years with Spider-Man left, probably, surely. But it's just that to make him the Spine,
isn't it?
You can't. I don't think you can squeeze 10 years of Spider-Man.
There's a comic book series right now called Spider-Man Life Story, and it follows him through the decades of what it would look like if he aged as Spider-Man. So it started in the 60s when he got bit. Then he was in his teens. In the 70s, then he was in his 20s. The 80s, in his 30s.
How did those look?
I haven't read them yet. I have it on my list.
Wait. He's supposed to get bitten in the 60s?
Well, that's when that's when the comics came out. Right. So that's when they started in the 60s.
Okay, I got
so now they're transitioning to the early 2000s, and he's like pushing 40? Like 60s or like 50s. Okay, 50s. So like it watches you how he ages, and it kind of shows you why it's a good idea to kind of keep Spider-Man like.
Watch this.
it shows Spider-Man through the ages and what it would be to age, and we were talking. Sorry, we lost some audio there, but CJ said, "Well, what if he ages out?" And we said maybe he ages a little bit slower. And then what were we talking about?
We're talking about like how Tom Holland plays a really good teenager.
Yeah, how he plays a good teenager, and then CJ was saying how Marvel now has the.
They can be pioneers on evolving Spider-Man in a cool way.
Like, bro, bring in Miles Morales. He's in the universe.
But utilizing Peter Parker. It's not the story of Spider-Man. It's the story of Peter Parker.
Well, yeah, have him do something else, but like.
Well, right, that's the whole
thing.
But
then you can bring in other Spider-Mans. Like, Miles Morales exists in the universe.
But they're not making Spider-Man the pillar. They're making Peter Parker the pillar. So how does Peter Parker evolve from being Spider-Man?
I still think you play with the idea that he's a photographer, whether it's for a website, a blog, whatever. It doesn't have to be a newspaper.
It'll just be cool to watch it.
Yeah. And then we have to figure out how he goes after that.
If they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Which I'd be here for that.
It's crazy how he can play a teenager really
And he's already super different than the comic books because this version of Spider-Man is super techie. Yeah. Like, he has the technology from Iron Man, Stark Industries, where in the comic books he is poor, like he's dirt. Like, that's a good thing.
We started out that way.
That's a good way that they portrayed in the original trilogy. Is Spider-Man is poor, and when in Spider-Man 2, when he's living in the apartment by himself, and he's like always late on rent, like that to me is like Peter Parker, Spider-Man. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, let's see.
Yeah, it's crazy how like Tom Holland can play a really good teenager. Cause dude, he's older than I am, and like he can just play it too. Like it's crazy.
Well, you look 40. Let's not.
It's funny that they call the spider sense the Peter Tingle. That's funny.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
When you were walking out of the movie theater and you were like, "Oh, it's good," and then my friends were like, "Is that your younger brother?"
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, "No." I was like, "He's older." He's like, "He's older than you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "How old is he?" And he's like, "They're like what, 24 or something?" No, he's 30. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like, dude, he looks like a 16-year-old.
So I went to the movie by myself. And I felt so creepy.
Why?
Because, like, when I laughed at certain jokes and no one else fucking laughed, I'm like, way to leave me hanging, guys. Way to just leave me out to dry on that one. Like, whenever,
well, I guess that's a good segue, too.
The Peter Tingle, that made me laugh so hard, and no one else laughed at that, really. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Peter Tingle.
And then the next time it happened was when Happy was telling... He caught him on some porn site or something.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed so hard. That was so funny.
Because he said, they didn't show the titles, but because of the price, I assume that these were
Yeah. That was so funny.
I
laughed so hard and no one around me was laughing. I'm like, okay.
And it's funny because like that's such a teenager thing to do. Like, you're on vacation, you go like, oh, here's an extra.
I feel super fucking weird now.
Yeah, and they're paying for it.
There was one more after that, but I laughed really hard.
Well, I guess one of my notes that I had, did you guys find it funny?
Fuck yeah. This movie's, I think to be a successful Spider-Man movie, it has to be funny.
Yeah, I think so too. You have to have a tone like that, which is completely different.
Because Spider-Man is funny.
Yeah, he's quippy and shit. Yeah, he's funny. All right then, let's see.
I've never felt like more of a creep in a movie theater.
I feel like the only time...
And I blame it on everyone around me.
The only time I ever really felt like a creep is when I went to go see Incredibles 2. I was the only person there without kids. And I was sandwiched between like families of like 3 and 4, and I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in my crowd.
I feel like a
they
creep,
didn't laugh.
I feel like a creep every time I go by myself. So.
My crowd audibly gasped when they saw J.K. Simmons. They're like, I was like, yes.
Yeah, my theater was all boring.
Most of mine left. They already left.
Dude, speaking of live theaters, like hype theaters, my in-game, dude, that Thursday night.
Dude, go to an IMAX, bro. That shit was fucking crazy.
There was one video I did see though on Twitter at the time. You know when they did the post signatures.
Yeah. Oh, people were going crazy.
People are like openly like, yeah, dude. I was like, I should have gone to that.
The two best crowds I've had have been Infinity War and Endgame, for sure.
Yeah, Infinity War. Oh, dude, when Thor made that entrance into Wakanda, my theater went fucking nuts. Dude.
Whenever they were being snapped, it was completely dead. Yeah, it was so good.
We went together, right?
No.
To Infinity War?
No, me and Dustin.
Dude, I'll tell you, the two greatest scenes that got me goosebumps in Endgame was when Captain America got Thor's hammer, dude. The theater went fucking crazy.
Ours did too. Ours was too.
And then whenever...
we watched Endgame together.
Did we?
Yeah. We remember we went to that Thursday? And then we came straight from the movie here to record.
Oh, yeah.
And then the scene where you it's like Sam's like on your left, and then you see the circle.
That
People
was
went,
so good.
dude.
That still
People
gives me,
went.
like,
People
chills.
erupted in that theater, bro. Oh my
Ours
god.
when Spider-Man
That's like the best moment.
when Spider-Man showed up in Black Panther, like people were clapping and stuff. Like yeah, that was good. But yeah, no, my audience was kind of live on this, so that was pretty good.
On
Spider-Man, yeah.
Man, mine sucked.
Yeah.
They made me feel so weird. Well, it's okay.
Alrighty, kind of from your memory of Amazing Spider-Man and
They were all assholes. They didn't appreciate Spider-Man the way he deserves to be appreciated.
only
Are
I
those
could
people
choo-
assholes? Full question.
only I treat you the way I could treat you, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. Spider-Man, come here.
This is a weird sentence to say, but out of all the 3 Spider-Man 2s, which is the best Spider-Man 2? Is it this one, the Sam Raimi one, or the Amazing Spider-Man?
Definitely not. Okay, I'll give you this. I love those Spider-Mans. The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. I love those movies, but it's not better than this one. And dude, it's
With Doc Ock.
With Doc Ock, or the fucking the newer one right now. But
That's a great movie.
I'd have to say, if I'm just going right now, I meant to say the Raimi one.
Okay.
Sorry, dude, that movie was so.
It was really good, dude.
I think I say Far From Home.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue with that. So.
I do want to point out.
There's a very special place in my heart for that Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
I just want to throw out that the Andrew Garfield movies were fucking terrible. So
I'll give you that. I mean, it's not everyone's but I liked it. I mean, I like those movies. I mean, they're good to me.
they're awful, like objectively.
She's beautiful to me.
I mean, the second one wasn't that good, but the first one was all right. The first one was good.
I would probably hear that argument. The second one is terrible.
No, the second one is not very
awful.
good. But I mean, it was just finally. I was just so happy to see Electro.
I remember being like,
I was so happy.
Like genuinely like.
Dude, Electro might be the second best Spider-Man villain.
That scene where
he has the second best rogues gallery.
Yeah. Oh, Spider-Man easily behind Batman. Yeah.
That scene where MJ and Peter Parker like. They meet at some like building and some I don't remember.
Isn't it Gwen Stacy in those movies?
Yeah, it's Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What did I say? Did I say MJ?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, at first it's Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy. Anyway, when they meet, they're like at some building, like some convention or something, and it's the most awkward thing in the history of awkward things.
That's the first movie. Yeah.
That was so weird. It was like,
I liked
why?
Anyways, okay, so
No, but that it totally completely turned me off to the whole rest of the movie. The
I
movie is objectively bad.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I like the Spider-Man better in this movie, but I like the villain better in Spider-Man 2. In the original Spider-Man 2.
Dude, I think Vulture's a better villain than Mysterio. Dude, Vulture was a badass villain.
Vulture is on the top the top echelon of villains in the MCU. Mysterio more in the middle because you can still relate to him.
Yeah, I mean you can still relate. He hates Tony Stark. He was fired. Obviously, his lifelong project was called Barf, and I mean, yeah, you can relate to that. But dude, like the Vulture, he's doing everything to fucking feed his family, to protect his family. Yeah. So you can relate to that.
And I do like the fact that the people that run Kevin Feige, who gives a shit, and they're threading it because like we get the use of Barf again from Civil War, which was kind of a throwaway thing, and then the fucking scientist from Iron Man 1. You know what I mean? So it's like they give a shit, and they know that nerds will know, and appreciate that shit. So that's fucking cool. And that's the things you can do with the built-on universe. Like you can pick little things here and there. So.
Does anybody want to revisit my take that MCU is underrated?
It's not underrated.
It is underrated.
How's the MCU underrated?
Yeah, I don't.
It's underrated.
What?
It's not underrated.
How's it underrated?
People don't love it enough.
It's perfectly rated.
No, dude, we're in the renaissance of superhero movies.
You guys
right
don't love
now.
it enough.
I love it.
I love the MCU.
Not enough.
I mean, the MCU's great.
To the point of annoyance? Maybe not.
Maybe not like you.
It deserves to be loved.
Dude, the MCU is the greatest movie platform ever that's ever been made, ever, and it's not underrated.
That's almost enough.
Let him be.
I mean, Marvel still isn't better than DC, but movie-wise, yeah.
Movies should just be called not MCUs from now on. Like all other movies, we're done with the word movie. It's just MCU and not MCU.
DC is still hands down better than Marvel.
Are you guys gonna go watch that not MCU?
But the MCU is the greatest thing to ever hit the screen ever. So it's not underrated.
Anyways, out of the so now
God.
there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Spider-Man movies. Would you say, as a movie as a whole, where would you put this?
Second. No,
it starts at the top.
Second. It's Raimi, the second Raimi one. It's Far From. I don't know. I have to watch Homecoming again and Far From Home because walking out of that movie, I thought Homecoming was still better. But then I had time to think about Far From Home.
I think I'm gonna put Homecoming above this one, just because the reason that movie that year when they came out, with 2018 or 2017, that was my favorite movie that year, because when I left the movie theater, I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot. I love Spider-Man. Like I didn't feel the same, and it's no fault to that of this movie. It's really good, but just the way Homecoming made me feel leaving the movie theater.
Better than the best movie that year. Hey, but Wonder Woman coming out that year.
Yeah, I know what I said.
It's not better than Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman is better than both these movies. But I'm saying, yes, it is.
That's not true by a lot.
It's very true.
It's better than this movie.
No, Wonder Woman is better than both these. But I'm saying, Far From Home is the second best Spider movie ever.
I would say Spider-Man 2 from Raimi, then Homecoming, and then this one.
Okay. I'd say Raimi, Far From Home, Homecoming, and then the rest can fuck off.
I think you're both wrong.
What's the best?
I mean, the last one is obviously.
Is it this one?
It's Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Into the Spider-Verse.
No one fucking cares about that.
Oh wait, if we're gonna add that one, that was the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. Sucks though. That's hard to say.
I gotta watch it.
It hurts to say
it's
that.
on Netflix, so I gotta
Dude,
watch
I
it.
love Homecoming a lot. I would put Homecoming above this
You
movie.
guys are fucking dumb.
Only slightly.
The Spider-Verse is not better than these movies.
Dude, how would you know if
have
you
you
haven't
not seen
seen
it?
it?
I'm saying, I'll guarantee you it's not.
How do you always miss the best fucking movies? Are you sure you've watched
You haven't even
Infinity
seen
War
Logan.
and Endgame?
I've seen Infinity War and Endgame, trust me. You haven't even seen Logan? What's this motherfucker talking about?
That's
Yeah,
the
but
best
that's-
X-Men movie, by far.
That's the greatest X-Men movie ever. Ever.
Well,
Bro, Dark Phoenix?
When we did Dark Phoenix, he rated Logan last because he hasn't seen it.
Of course he is.
Yeah, but that's funny.
Bro, Dark Phoenix was probably the worst movie in the last 5 years of any superhero movie.
Alrighty, as far as MCU movies, if we're gonna think of these in thirds, is this top third, middle third, or bottom third?
Top third.
I'd probably say bottom of the top third. That's what I would say.
Well, 23 divided by 3, what is that? Luna, stop.
Either bottom of the top third or top of the
Luna,
second third.
stop.
It's either at the bottom of the top third or at the top of the second.
So is it a top 7 movie?
Yes.
It's in that range.
Yes. Top 7 movie, yes.
I'd say top 10.
I'd say if you tell me it's top 7 and it's number 7, fine.
Okay. It's either bottom first tier or top.
Right.
Okay, I like
I'd put it number 7 because you used to have great movies.
because you have Endgame, Infinity War,
I mean, I'm sure Winter
Winter
Soldier's
Soldier.
Soldier's great.
the
Yes.
first Iron Man.
You have Civil War.
You have the first Spider-Man.
Yeah, Homecoming.
You have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which is
I don't know. Now that it's done,
the first Avengers.
the first Avengers.
now that the phase is officially
Thor
over,
Ragnarok, probably
Thor
the best
Ragnarok
one.
might be
now that the phase is officially over, we should probably re-up our rankings. Actually,
Yeah,
We can do that next
we
week,
can do that
actually, as a little mini segment. Yeah.
Sunday again next week, or I guess we're doing this on Monday. But I mean,
well, we should probably not discuss that in the middle of
Yeah.
recording this one.
fuck.
Okay, so
fucking shit, Luna.
okay, ultimately the last thing is rating. We're gonna rate this.
Kitty
Oh,
Cities.
Kitty
Oh,
Cities.
Kitty
Kitty
Cities.
Cities,
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah, that's easy.
All right, and now I'm leaving the vote up to you. Vote or die.
You know, sorry. One thing I do want to point out.
Okay.
I think one thing that made Homecoming a little bit better.
Was the Vulture?
It seemed like yes, you're right. But Spider-Man struggled more in Homecoming.
Yeah.
It was a harder fight. That scene where he's just.
Oh,
like,
dude, that scene.
Oh, that was so good.
You know-
yeah, where he's just lifting up the fucking.
Tom Holland is a
building.
very underrated actor. The reason I get so emotional in those the two Avenger movies and then in Homecoming
Yeah,
is because the way he acts, dude. Like in Infinity War, he's
When I
like,
started
I don't
crying-
want to go, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Like it's like, dude, like any other actor would have just been like, oh, that sucks. But when he's like, I don't want to go, I'm
I
like,
don't-
oh,
He doesn't want to go.
yeah,
Captain America in Endgame. Captain America standing there.
yeah.
Against everything was like that. Started it off.
I-
But what finished it for me was seeing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I wish he wasn't blipped. I wish he had a big part in that. Bigger part in the
No,
movie,
it makes sense. It makes sense though because like if he's gonna be your next guy, then he had he
It's
can't.
better. That was the point. The emotional point.
Yeah.
You needed that. You needed that taken
Well,
away.
you
And
needed
from Tony
you needed
Stark.
that from Tony Stark exactly. You needed Tony Stark to feel like a piece of shit because like the
Maybe
one thing he didn't want to do is to get the kid involved.
If Spider-Man doesn't get blipped, I'm not saying that. If Spider-Man doesn't get snapped, maybe Tony Stark doesn't even fuck a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
because he has him back. Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? I think I like the way it.
Because I mean, he had no connection to Black Panther. He never even met Black Panther.
Anyway, my original point was he had more adversity to overcome.
Yeah.
I think, in the first one.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave the vote to you guys now. You can vote on our Twitter poll or our Facebook poll. What'd you think of Spider-Man: Homecoming? So let us know your thoughts, and if you give us some comments, we'll read them on the next show. All right.
The ending for this one is better, I think. I think. I
can see
I don't
that.
like I don't really like the ending of Homecoming, to be honest.
I do.
It was
Like the whole plane thing was kind of weird to me. Not bad. Just
Plane thing.
Well, yeah, they're up in the sky on the plane. The fight with the plane. Like,
oh no, I like that.
I like it. I think it was like the worst part of a great movie, if that makes sense. Like, the ending just wasn't as strong as the rest of the movie.
I agree that this ending was better.
This ending was
yeah.
But I mean, the movie itself, Homecoming, might be better than Far From Home. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have to rewatch both movies.
I agree.
I have to rewatch both movies. So
Homecoming as a whole was better, but the ending of this movie I think was better, especially with him getting doxxed.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah, I think this ending was better.
Alrighty, great. You heard it here, guys. We love the movie. We love all these Spider-Man movies. Thank God Marvel took over Spider-Man from Sony. So, but yeah, no. Let us know what you think. If you have any comments, like I said, we'll read them next week. But Andres, since you're here, what are we doing?
Getting the fuck out of here.
All right, next week I think we're going to talk about best trilogies of all time.
Ooh, I'm coming in.
Yeah. So we can have a little argument there. So, what is something you guys are reading, watching quickly that you guys want to tell folks?
I'm about to. Ooh, nice. I'm about to read. I'm about to read the finale of The Batman Who Laughs.
Okay.
I got the 5th.
Good so far?
I got the 6th issue, 1 through 5. Amazing. You need to read those.
I have them, so I'll read them.
Yeah, I'm about to read the finale, so I'll tell you how that goes next week.
I guess by default I have to say My Hero Academia.
Of course.
I'm 2 episodes in. It's it.
Stranger Things. I'm starting Stranger Things this week. So. Alrighty, if you guys have any suggestions or comments, let us know on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. You can find us personally, or I guess, and on all those social networking platforms, it's at NerdWorldOrder1. You can find us personally on Facebook or on Twitter.
At the Loza 45 _ between the and Loza.
At CJMFA.
At Saint_Able45, got it right for once. You can find the show on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher. Buy some merch, guys. We really appreciate the people that have bought some merch. Keep buying. We're going to get some new equipment, make the show better. We really appreciate it.
Buy some merch.
Whitney, I got to add him to the list of official NWO something. So Whitney's the official NWO zoologist. So there you go. Oh no, the official NWO kangaroo boxer. That's funny.
You know... sorry, just as an aside, Whitney does a lot for us.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
Yeah.
And he runs a very cool business, Buckman's Bestial Behaviors.
Yeah.
If you guys need your dogs trained, look up Whitney Buchman on Facebook, please.
You just got some free.
Is it Buckman?
Yeah.
Buckman.
I thought that was Butch.
Buckman? It's not. Oh, in my D&D, my friend Tony used Buchman. Like, it was a thing.
So yeah, no, for sure. Whitney, and he does a good job at it. So
yeah, he's really good at it. So if you guys need your dogs trained, look him up on Facebook.
Yeah. Actually, I'll find a link and I'll put it on our social media. So
shout out Whitney.
Okay, and then if you guys want to do a one-time donation, hit us up on PayPal, nerdworldorder2@gmail.com. I keep saying I'm going to fix the Patreon so you guys have goals, but the only goal we have right now is if you donate $10 a month, I'm going to buy you a shirt. So please feel free to do that. Any and all money, we'd support it. So we really appreciate it. Anything else, guys?
No.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening and commenting. We really appreciate it. And don't forget, obey the NWO.
Bye.
Please.